beautiful moon over Irvine, California. What a night for football in the Academy League as Crean Lutheran makes some history tonight as the Saints stop St. Margaret's 38-game winning streak in league with a 26-20 victory. Welcome to the Cox3 postgame show. I'm Paul Westphal. Alongside me is the coach, Bill Cunity. And coach, before the game we thought, styles make fights, and we've got two completely different styles of offense tonight. You had the Crean Lutheran grind it out, keep possession of the ball, make first downs, and then you had St. Margaret's that can score in the blink of an eye, and it was exactly what we thought it was going to be.
Well, both teams enter games with game plans. That's what coaches do, and I think both teams had the strength of what they've gotten this far with as the obvious game plan. The not so obvious thing was the quick strike team only had the ball for 13 and a half minutes. The team that grinds it out had it for 34 and a half minutes, and I think therein lies the difference.
That was indeed what made the Crean Lutheran the victorious team tonight, and they take the lead in the Academy League. Let's look at some of the highlights of a wild game. Very entertaining contest. Crean Lutheran got the ball first, took it right down the field, all running plays until this one. A 7-yard pass from Gavin Folsom to Nick Elwine, 7-0 Crean Lutheran. But St. Margaret's would come roaring back with that quick strike. George Krantz to Nick Shanks, the catch and run good for 49. Shanks' 22nd touchdown of the year, 7-6. Then Folsom, after a beautiful play fake to Elwine again, this time 18 yards. They miss the PAT, and it's 13-6 in the second. Then George Krantz sneaks in from a yard out. They make the conversion, and it's 13-13 late in the second quarter, but a very late drive culminates in a 1-yard plunge by Tanner Atkinson. Our halftime score, Crean Lutheran 20, St. Margaret's 13. In the second half, no scoring in the third quarter, but in the fourth, Folsom runs it in from 4 yards out. They miss the PAT. It's 26-13. One last chance for St. Margaret's, and they come back like the champions they are. Austin Locke with a touchdown reception from George Krantz made it 26-20, but they never got the ball back. Let's go down. Garth Wyckoff with a couple of the heroes for Crean Lutheran.
A couple of happy football players. The whole city's happy. The whole team's happy on a historic night. These Saints got it done. To my right, it's the quarterback. It's Gavin Folsom. And to my left, right on the screen that you're looking at, it's Garrett Cox, the senior, the halfback, the linebacker getting it done. We're going to start with you, Garrett. Yes, sir. A huge win for Crean Lutheran tonight. I know it's a team effort, but just how special, how big was this game here tonight?
It was a great feeling. We came in with a plan. We executed it, and I'm just happy with this win. Coming against a team that hasn't lost a game in 10 years in league and a new school like Crean, it's just an amazing feeling to come out with this win.
You guys played with a lot of poise, and you really kind of set the pace in the first half. You pounding the rock. It was just relentless. You had 93 yards, 95 yards. You didn't get into the paint, but you got all the dirty work. Talk about your performance in that offensive line tonight.
Well, definitely offensive line game tonight. I wouldn't have been able to do it without them, and like I said, we came in with a plan, and we executed, and I give all the credit to the line tonight.
All right, congratulations. We'll go
it.
over here and talk to the signal caller, the junior stepping in, the first-year starter. Let me tell you, you had 3 touchdowns in this football game. You did it on the ground. You did it with your arm. No bigger run than the 4-yard gain that kind of secured that first down on 4th down. How big was that in the fourth quarter?
Well, first I got to thank God. Without God, we wouldn't have been able to have this victory. But it was really big, and I wanted the ball at the end of that game, and I got it. And I just thank Coach for that.
When they needed you, they counted on you, and you got it done. From a leadership perspective, how far will this win go, not only for this football team, the history of this program, but for you as a player, a young player, what will this do for you going forward leading this football team?
Yeah, we just got to take steps forward, and we got Brethren next week. It's going to be a big test for us, and we want to get them and get league. So.
Yes, sir. Keeping things in perspective, taking one game at a time. And I'll tell you what, guys, come on in. This is a game neither one of you will forget. You'll remember it for the rest of your life. Congratulations. We got some happy Saints, guys.
Well, Coach, sometimes statistics don't really indicate the nature of the game, but this time there are certain things that just leap off the page at you.
Well, we start at the bottom again. Time of possession, 34 minutes and 57 seconds to 13:03. That would be the way the game plan was constructed for Crean Lutheran by Brett Mertens. But when you look at the total yards, you're seeing 286 to 199. Rushing yards, 237 for Crean to 41 for St. Margaret's. St. Margaret's really does a great job with their offense when they have the ball. There's a big game next weekend that's going to have a lot to say about perhaps a three-way tie for the championship. Brethren Christian playing Crean Lutheran. St. Margaret's had a streak in, but what a streak it's been. 13 years as league champions.
Well, and still might be heard from again if Brethren Christian can take on Crean Lutheran in what should be a really entertaining game next week. Let's look at some of the individual numbers of this thrilling contest. Crean Lutheran wins at 26-20. Krantz, I thought, threw the ball brilliantly at times, and Shanks was his usual self.
Well, those two guys have combined for some exciting things this season. They're both top-tier talent young men, and I think when you see the playoffs begin, you and I were talking about these three teams could be three of the four semifinalists in their division.
Yeah, wouldn't be too surprised at that. Of course, Crean Lutheran got great contributions from Nick Elwine, the school's all-time leading receiver, with a couple of touchdown catches, and Tanner Atkinson with a couple of big first downs. He may have only had 22 yards rushing, but every one of them was necessary.
Well, Tanner Atkinson, he kind of restored our faith in the I formation. He's a real true-blood fullback. We don't see many anymore, but he did a great job carrying the ball when he had to and blocking.
Crean Lutheran goes to 7-2 on the year. They are 2-0 though in league play, while St. Margaret's drops to 7-2, but 2-1 in league play. They're done. They'll play a non-league game next week, while Crean Lutheran will take on Brethren Christian for all the marbles. Coach, a tremendously exciting game from the Academy League. Your final thoughts?
Well, I think there were two things that stood out to me. Number one, the plans that both of these coaching staffs had, and number two, the execution. This is one of the more entertaining games we've had all season. Congratulations to both schools.
Indeed, very entertaining contest. Would certainly love to come back and do it all again. Well, I'd like to thank everybody involved with Cox3 for allowing me to be part of another great telecast. This has been the Cox3.com postgame show. For the Coach Bill community, I'm Paul Westfall saying good night from Irvine, California.